Law number 10 is the law of connection. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. In other words, leaders relationally connect with their followers. They're not going to ask great commitment out of their people until they have first connected emotionally, relationally with them. There's a saying that we often hear that we kind of attribute to leadership, but it really isn't a leadership quote. It's the statement, "It's lonely at the top." When somebody says that, we think, oh, there's another leader at the top of the mountain, and all the people are at the bottom of the mountain, and that leader's looking down at the people saying, oh, look at him down there. It's lonely at the top. A leader never said that. Think about it for a moment. If you're at the top all alone, no one's following you. You haven't connected with them. You identify a leader by the fact that people are around that person. So if you're at the top all alone, I have a suggestion for you. Get off the top. Go down, find the people, and then bring them to the top with you. It's when you bring people to the top with you that you understand and are now practicing the law of connection. Law number 11 is the law of the inner circle. A leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. I can remember when I learned that law. I was 40 years of age. I was doing some kind of midlife reflection, a little bit discouraged because I felt that I wasn't making the progress I would like to as a leader. And so after a few days of kind of inner soul searching, I came to the conclusion that although I worked hard and I was disciplined, and although I had my priorities straight in my life, I had not spent time with those people on my team, my inner circle, those that were closest to me, developing them. At age 40, that's 20 years ago, I made a commitment. It's the best business decision I ever made in my life, that I would spend more time, more energy, more money. I would give my very best to my inner circle and develop them, because I realized that my success or my failures would be directly linked to how well they did. Now that I'm 60, I can tell you, best business decision I've ever made in my life. Things are multiplying, not because I'm doing that much better or doing that much more, but because my inner circle, they're making a difference in my life. And that's what this law is all about. Law number 12 is the law of empowerment. Only secure leaders give power to others. What a true statement. And the word I would underline is secure. I've never known an insecure leader to give power away to others. They want to keep it for themselves. They're intimidated. When I think about some of the games that we played, leadership games as a child, I realized that we weren't really taught the law of empowerment in the process of leadership in childhood. Think about it for a moment. We played King of the Hill. And in King of the Hill, one person was on top, and anybody that got near the top, you tried to knock them down. And it was basically, you had to kind of fight for your survival at the top. There's no empowerment principle there. And then how about the game Follow the Leader? The object was, if you were the leader, to do something so complicated, the rest of them couldn't. So if you could do something they couldn't do, guess what? You got to remain the leader. Well, you see, we grew up with this mindset that there can only be one leader, and you got to be at the top, and you got to beat everybody else down, an antithesis of empowerment. So I wrote this chapter to help people begin to understand that the greatest way to compound power is to give it away. The greatest way to compound influence is to give it away. You can only multiply yourself when you empower others, and that's what this law is all about.